Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have a very interesting video this time, and actually an announcement too, because with this I open a completely new window of repairs in Mike Salazar Diagnostics. So in the past I have recorded videos working on MEFI 3s and MEFI 4s. They have a calibration that is locked, and that actually has let me give to others repairs that I can now do. So what I'm trying to say with this is now if you have a MEFI 3 or MEFI 4, I'm able to repair when you have a bad checksum error your computer. And this is very exciting news because I have always tried to give the full service to my customers and also prevent others that I consider not as scammers, because they do kind of a repair doing a software, but they have deemed multiple computers that could be repaired not repairable just because they cannot fix it with the software. And that is very not good, because when I cannot repair a computer because it needs the software, I have in my videos that you can see multiple of my MEFI 3s and 4s. This is for both ECMs that I have actually provided the customer the connection to the other company to go and change the calibration, which at the end will correct that. But now I can do in-house all that too. So this is very important for me, and I want to share all that with you. So this is a computer coming from Canada, Shawn Bennett. So I'm going to read his letter, which I have here. It says, "Good day, Mike. Love your videos. You came highly recommended, as I don't believe we have anyone in Canada to repair such items. Thank you for your help you can provide. Issue 2005 is Stingray 220 both. Engine is a 5.0 GXi-E MEFI 4 ECM. Engine begun having hard starts." Let me just put my glasses because this is a little hard for me to read like that. "Engine will lose power under load once in a while until it finally quit altogether on the lake. Found a wiring diagram troubleshooting using internet, show no fuel pump prime from the ECM. Hope this helps. Please let me know if you need any more information. Thank you." So yes, when I had the computer, or when I got the computer, let me move you over to, well, let me show you the next part, which is a very close zoom into the computer, which I have open. I have actually fully repaired the computer now. But yes, I'm going to also show you, I don't have the checksum error, which I thought I have a picture of it, but I didn't have it, or I didn't take it. So the first scene here, this is when I got the computer. These MEFI 4Bs, they have all this problem of the gel coming down. It looks like it didn't let them seat properly or set for the correct time, and then the gel came down. But all the jumpers on his computers are fine, so nothing is wrong with that. So yeah, I went ahead and connect the computer, and I have 5.0 reference. So this is again the note that I just read to you, and I mark it as Shawn Bennett from Canada. You can see that in the picture right here, and that's the part numbers. So the 12584052 is a MEFI 4B. They have MEFI 4 and MEFI 4B. So as you can see here, and I will show you in a second too, we have the 5.0 reference, but the computer was only drawn like 0.2. When I see that 0.2, is at least hope that I might be able to repair it. So I connected it into a Diacom. Again, I tried always to get that. I have all the information on that page in there, but you can see that that is still his computer. And we have, let me see, no, it's not the meter in there, but we have no communication. So I tried to connect, no communication. And this is exactly his concern. I mean, not running, no communication. I have another folder in here that says customer info, because it's in there where I have all the pictures with all his address and telephone and etc. Right? But so I connected the computer, no communication. I fixed that, which it was a 5.0 regulator shorted. I was able to remove the short from the board, correct diodes and solder, all the things that I can replace and repair, and then corrected that. But then when I connected the computer, it still didn't run. And now I have like a 310 milliamps, which is coming on. But I was able to communicate, and then it tells me through 3 fault codes, and it was bad checksum error, which is And in the past, I have always said, the hardware part I can fix, that part I cannot fix. But I'm always eager into like, I need to try more to be able to fix this, and I nail it. I am now able to do it. So, and the proof is right now in this computer. So let me just run it first. I'm going to disconnect from the computer and start from scratch. I have the ignition on. So I'm going to move you back to the main view because I want to show you this. So focus in here. This is the fuel pump. So I'm going to turn the computer off. And now when I turn the computer on, we can see the fuel pump prime. It's going to take like 2 seconds and then it shuts off. All right, so going back into the screen where I have the diagram, I'm going to select MEFI 1 through 4. Computer is fully powered on, and you can see it detect the module immediately. And now we're in there connected. So the checksum for this calibration is 6629. That is very unique to the 50 GXi-E or GXi on Volvo Penta. I don't know how many hours you had before in your computer, Shawn, because the one that I use for yours now, it has 283. So if it has less or more, lucky on one end or unlucky, that's the only thing I can do, because I cannot erase the faults. Oh, sorry, the hours. I can copy the information, but I cannot transfer or correct or change anything. So I will not be able to tune any computers, but I can fix the checksum errors. All right, so let me make it run. All right, so I got now the computer running. I'm going to show you RPMs as I normally do. I'm going to put that in here. I'm going to put the meter on the screen as well so we can see the 5 volts in there. I'm going to select some of the pits so you can see we had no trouble codes, which is perfect. I also going to select how many times it has run with no malfunctions, which is again very important as well. And I think the rest not really necessary, because the rest are just values that I'm going to add to the computer. Everything is working 100%, coil, injectors, everything is very nice and working perfectly. Even the injection is very nice and clean. So I'm going to raise the RPMs, and we can see how I can raise the RPMs, not a problem at all. I'm going to come back to 730 or so that I usually use for 20 is fine for my engine speed and idle. I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to turn 1 second. We're going to lose the communication. You're going to see in a second when it says synchronization pass 1, pass 2. I'm going to turn it back on. It will immediately connect back by itself, and it did. And now we're going to run it one more time. So that 10 is going to change it like 3 seconds to now 11. Let's just wait for that. Okay, perfect. So now we have 11 starts without malfunction. This is 100% repair. Everything is working beautiful. So I'm very, very happy with this. Now let me move you over to this, and I'm going to take the meter away. I can turn the computer off, so I don't need this running. So because I want to show you the areas that were damaged. And also I will take you back to the screen in a second. Okay, I got the plastic pick in here. So this right here is the voltage regulating area, and I have shown in other videos where I have mapped out completely the computer, so I know exactly all the voltage rails, paths, and everything, all the way to the microprocessor. And this is my information, and I have shown in the past, but I'm going to limit myself from doing that because there is a lot of companies trying to copy what I do, and obviously I don't need that, right? So I need you to come to me in order to fix your computers. All right, so the next part is right here. This is what you see here is the EEPROM. So now that we have seen, you can see also, yes, you can see how in here I have no gel. Like this is now clean, no gel. And here we got gel, and you see how I'm poking, and you can see the change on the brightness. Same thing is in the voltage regulator. In the voltage regulator, I got nothing because that's the areas that I work on the computer, and I repair the computer that way. So now let me take you back to the screen where now we see that the ECM is not responding because I turned it off. So the next thing that I want to show you, I'm going to click OK here, and I'm going to lower this down. Well, now since this is in here, let me also give you a short commercial. If you have any computers, automotive or marine, Mike Salazar Diagnostics is your best choice. I am completely transparent, and I will show you a video of before and after. In this one, I didn't have a video before because it was completely dead, but the pictures I think is enough, and they know that it's a completely dead computer. But I always do a before and after, or pictures of the before and when it's not communicating. If you have a computer that you need or instrument cluster, ABS modules, please look for Mike Salazar Diagnostics. I'm going to put in the title of this video the whole address of my website, so you can copy it from there and then look for MikeSalazarDiagnostics.com. My name is spells M-A-I-C. Salazar is my last name, and Diagnostics is just the name that I put for my website. So in here you have the white box. You can click in there and download the form that Shawn actually did download. Let me just show you this from the distance. But yeah, this is the form, and please sign it. Like that, I have that on the records. That is the form that you need to fill with like engine serial, OB number, part numbers, and your contact information and so on. All the information that required is pretty, it has boxes and everything for you to fill. If you want to send me an email, the black box, click here to email us. That will open your email browser with my email already in there, so you can start having a conversation with me, or use the chat. The less chat button in here, you can make questions in there and it will be an immediate answer on calls and telephone numbers and addresses and so on. All right, again, just a short commercial. Let's go over to I want to go over to the multi-prog. So the reason I'm using the multi-prog is just to compare data. So I'm going to actually let me close this up, bring this down, and I'm going to open it again. So we will start completely from zero, and that is no information or anything in there. You can see that I'm going to open two files. One is going to be Shawn, and the other one is going to be from another good read that I have saved from a computer that I now have in here. All right, so I'm going to open a file, and in here I'm going to open Shawn. And then I'm also going to now click in the box that says compare. I'm going to open the order file. And now this is doing a comparison on one to the other. And you can see that we have 3,222 different data. What does that mean? That's where the checksum error happens. You know, when a computer like his have a 5-volt reference or a regulator that I was actually supplying 6 volts on the 3.3 rail, that corrupts the information. The microprocessor start trying to read the EEPROM and then back and forth, and that's where the data gets corrupted. Why? Because it's voltages. Even though we think on data as letters, the computers actually sends that information on zeros and ones, actually in a voltage low or voltage high, 0 to 5, 3.3, whatever the manufacturer designed the computer to do that conversation in between the two modules, it's going to be a voltage. And it's going to create a square wave, kind of like a CAN bus, you know, or so. It's called SPI communication, right? So that is, again, more in depth that I can show you in other videos. But this is exactly what I did. So these are protected EEPROMs, and I was able to decrypt it, or at least unlock it, so I can get the information. And this is what I'm very happy, because it's also not just that easy, because on a computer from a car, the EEPROM is very easy to remove. In this board, no. This is a very special skill. You have to have the correct tools and know what you're doing, otherwise you will destroy the board. Same thing is with the voltage regulator. It's a crystal voltage regulator. Let me bring you over to now here. I'm going to make a further zoom. That's actually as much as I can go. So you can see here, like the EEPROM, which is that one, you can see how it's a black one, right? This is the microprocessor. You can see how it's a shiny square. That is actually a crystal material component. So they make that, and it's kind of like almost printed with the board. It's not really exactly that because there's actually solder to it, but this board is actually printed in a ceramic material that is also very hard to work with. It is a very good to heat sink on it. So to work or remove any components is almost impossible. So you need to have a very special technique in order to do what I do. And then, like I said, now right here, the voltage regulator, as you can see, is another crystal component. I do have the gel. It's a 2-part mixed gel that I'm also have in stock. After I do the repairs, I put all that again. Why? Because otherwise corrosion will get into all those joints, and we don't want that, because otherwise it will kill the computer quicker than than it should. All right, so guys, in Shawn, this is pretty much what I wanted to share. I want also, well, to run the computer one more time so we can see this in live data or live video without stopping anything. The computer is now completely off, so I'm going to start again from scratch. I'm going to turn the computer on, and you can see from that distance, I think you can still see the pump coming on. I'm going to click again on OK. Immediately detects the module. We can communicate with the module, and now I'm going to run it again in idle, and we can see that if I put this, you guys will be able to see it more. And now we're going to go from 11 to 12 pretty shortly, right? Remember, start with all malfunctions. Now we got the 12. This is 100% repair. So this computer is now fully functional, no problems whatsoever. I am very happy, Shawn, that I was able to help you, and also very happy for my own self, for myself and my business, because now I open a very different window in MEFI 3s and MEFI 4s that before I was not able to do. I hope that you guys like the content. I try to share as much as I can on my videos, connections, and so on. On the MEFI 4s and MEFI 3s, I got a complete playlist. Just go over to my channel, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. That also helps me a lot. That would share my videos more and more, and that is actually helping my business a lot as well. So thank you so much if you subscribe to the channel. So yeah, what I was saying, just go over to the channel and look for the playlist. I got a lot of playlists in there, but you can also look for like a MEFI 4s and MEFI 3s. They have a lot of videos in there and connections and information that I have forever to share with everybody in there. All right, guys, thank you so much. Shawn, thank you so much for trusting Mike Salazar Diagnostics. See you next time. Bye-bye.